good to go? Fantastic. Well, welcome back, Craig.
Good to see you, man.
Start with congratulations on your event, because that is genuinely the best grappling event I've ever been to. Actually, even the best fight show I've ever been to. The atmosphere was amazing. The matches were amazing. Just everything about it was fantastic. It ran so smoothly that you go to all these other competitions and this is stalling or whatever. It actually seemed seamless.
Cheers,
and then we also had the halftime show.
Aye, that was awesome.
It was fantastic. And then we had the end of show, which I didn't know you could sing. That was a nice surprise.
Aye.
But just for the purposes of the viewers, I'm being referred to as champ for the day. There we go.
Yes, sir, champ.
I'll just sound like a dick saying that, but it's all right.
Come on, champ, don't say that. You're going to wish you never said that.
I know. So what, from your perspective, what did you think went well, and what did you think... I don't think there was actually anything that could have been improved this time around. I mean, I've been to 3 of them. I wasn't the first one that was in the gym, but I've been to the 3 since, and this was by far the best, but the other 2 seemed amazing anyway.
Aye, there's always sort of pros and cons. You're always, just like any project, you try to run it back and see what, changes you can make, see what can be improved, see what went well, and that's what we're always looking to do. For me, like, one downside was the Wi-Fi connection. It was poor, and they never had a separate one. So for the venue, we need to maybe look at something different for that. But overall, like, the matches were absolutely brilliant. I was able to kind of sit back. Everything was going smoothly on the outside, so I was able to just sit back and enjoy all the different matches. So
you did actually look like you were enjoying it. I could see you sitting over the side. Obviously, I was sitting recording, and I was across from you. I could just see you sitting having the time of your life. You're just buzzing, especially when your fighters were on. We'll talk about Gary and Anis and stuff like that. You were just buzzing.
Aye, well, obviously, like, we're doing the matchmaking, I'm excited for all the matches that happen. I'm trying to match up styles where both people kind of complement each other. We spoke about that a wee bit before, and I feel like all the matches were like that. You started to see a wee bit of each person's game, and there was some really interesting ones that I was really just looking forward to see in my own head that just came about totally accidentally. There was I don't know if you saw Zach Yusuf's match.
I did, by the way. I know Moji was a last minute stand-in, wasn't he? So Moji's a known wrestler.
Yeah.
Was it a GB wrestler?
For what I understand, he's a really high level wrestler, and you could see that obviously with his grappling ability, and his cauliflower ears. And he was up against a blue belt who was 9 kilos lighter, and a really slick blue belt. A really slick blue belt as well. So it was pretty cool to see some of the exchanges and scrambles that happened there defensively.
He that's actually one for anyone that's watching to go back and watch when the videos get uploaded to the YouTube, because that match is phenomenal. Like, Zach Yusuf he's just that wee bullet, isn't he?
Yeah, he was
rapid,
just
man.
Boom, right on him, getting into those dominant positions early, and just making sure that he was able to create some offense. And Moji's defense was just for a guy that's never done a submission grappling match.
Has he never done one before?
He's never done that kind of rules ever. He just obviously he's trained in the gym doing it, but actually it was his first competitive bout.
Where does he train?
But I trust his coaches. He trains with the guys at the Grip, and they said he'd be good, so I knew he was going to be good. And I thought that was a really good match because Zach's so technical as well. So,
and a really good guard player.
Yeah.
So it is an interesting one. See, when you're doing your matchmaking, like, not when you're doing the matchmaking, but when you're sitting there watching it, do you get the adrenaline dump as well? Does your adrenaline go? Are you getting hyped up as you're sitting watching it?
Aye, certain ones you're just like, oof, that's like, especially when you know the people, it always makes it that wee bit more, interesting for you as well, because you're wanting to, you're just wanting to see a good match happen. You want to see both people showcase their abilities more than anything. That's probably one of the things you really want to see. The level is so high as well. It's absolutely brilliant. By far, I would say this one's been our highest level, throughout the card from start to finish.
Yep. And it's an actual pleasure to be on that card like that, so thank you. I want to thank you for that.
That was good to have you on. Your match was awesome.
That was fantastic. It's actually the best performance I've put in a long time. Highest my confidence been in a long time as well. I watched the post-fight interview back. I was watching a lot of them on the way here, and I was watching mine back, and I started it out, and I'm like, I thought I was going to go out there and just sling some dick. And the guy that was interviewing me, he's a bit more polite, and he was like,
Aye. He's done some sort of documentaries and stuff like that as well. So he's mega professional, Ross. But he loves the sport, and you know, he's been involved a wee bit in the amateur MMA scene as well. So it was really handy to have him there. Obviously, Stoomboy had some issues, so we're going to, you know, get him back on the next one, hopefully. And, you know, we were missing you, Stoomboy.
I know we're missing you right now, because I would have liked to have had the three of us here, but I didn't feel like having him here. We would have just been sitting, not really knowing what we're talking about. Then
of course,
unless we were putting every match up, but
it should be up anyway. It should be up the next day or two.
Right, perfect. That production house thing, production house.
Aye, so your match.
We can go through my match if you want. If you want to go through that,
definitely. Did you see you've got the video?
I've got a video of it.
Right,
we can file that up. Curtis has got he's got the links ready, so we won't get any sound from this.
That's going to be cool to see.
You can hear a bit of sound for there, but we'll get it on the screen. We can overlay this into the video. There's our Shawnee there. That's the first time as well. Usually I walk out, and every single time, doesn't matter if it's a local comp or whatever, I trip going onto the mat to take my flip flops off every time, man.
That's the second thing to take away. We're going to need some bigger mats.
Aye,
we're going to work on it. We're going to work on it.
But again, that's venue related, isn't it? So
yeah, we need to change venue. If we change the mats, it might need to happen.
So you can give a running commentary through it if there's any wee bits that you feel, because it's interesting to get your take, see what I could have done better, and what my whole game plan here was just to pressure him and tire his frames out over time, and just try and slow him down, because I knew if he's quite explosive.
Yeah, he's quite happy to play off his back there. I like how he's using that top left hook with his arm to kind of pull you into his game. It looks like he's reaching for the far shoulder, trying to get some Choi bar action on the go.
He's trying to throw triangles at the start,
and then he's quite happy to pull close guard as well then.
A bit of keymaster.
He's still got that hook, like for you there, you're trying to clear that hook obviously, but then you've also got to watch him inverting for the leg there, because you can see he's trying to feed under.
Yeah, I had to. He was also getting grips with the wrist, and I was trying to do a lot of wrist grips at this point, so you can actually hear in the video people shouting. So, and I conceded too early because
he's got really good jiu-jitsu. He's looking for the berimbolo counter.
I knew that was coming, so I paused and I waited.
Disengaged with the legs here to kind of keep the disconnect going back to the frames. So here's the battles ahead, isn't it? He's started to pull away for that. He's playing back on the legs a bit.
I was just trying to be really patient rather than rushing in. If I rush in, I'm.
This shows like the battles that go on just for superior leg position now.
Yeah.
You know, this is a lot of exchanges just to try and win these positions in the legs and get to superior position. He's managed to counter with clearing the legs, and this is where he's absolutely dangerous. Like, I just remember watching some of his transitions here, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he was good, man. He's quick as well.
He's using that hook well to stay on top with his grip. And the transition between mount and the back, and it's a game where you see a lot of people playing now. It is really, really strong, because you're not conceding anything. Very sort of foolproof approach. But honestly, I was really impressed with your defence with this as well, because it is a lot of bad spots where one wrong move ends the match, you know.
Exactly.
And you were able to not do any of those. So,
and I'm getting back
class.
to somewhere I'm really comfortable at. Z-guard, reverse De La Hiva, they're all very comfortable positions for me. Everyone knows me as a guard player, so it gives a bit more of a surprise towards the end.
I think they're the best matches. See, when you get to showcase a lot of your game.
Yeah, a bit up and down as well. And he was happy to be on bottom and on top, and so was I.
I honestly think I've had a few good matches like that.
Back and forth. I'm actually Mark Hasty was quite good. That was a bit of back and forth as well.
That's a nice transition into the arm there.
Transition. Again, just being patient so you can't get that arm out.
Because you're in such a dangerous spot here. But yeah, I think
something I need to be more comfortable with is the fact that I am more of a counter player, and I always think I'm going to go out and impose my game, but then I'm actually better when I counter. So put myself into bad spots. I'm not panicking when I'm in there.
it's both working for that inside position. Change the angle a bit.
Try and hit a wee bit of headquarters here. And again, falling back for a leg, which is probably a bit silly to be fair.
You've seen it and went for it. See, I thought calf slice here.
Yeah,
it was a wee calf slice opportunity.
So did I. He'd actually said to me after it, he was like, "Did you attack my foot at any point?" It was there. It was that wee toe hold.
Charles Oliveira who finishes that one. Some people say, they'll never tap to one of those. It's like it is a pain move, but I have seen them pop people's knees. So
I've had my knee popped to one.
Oh man.
A rolling toe hold back in 10th Planet days. So this is when I start trying to...
I was thinking maybe he was going to go for the Scottish Twister here. Because he's got that inside angle. Hook. The old Stevie Ray.
Yep.
I don't know if you've ever had that applied. You guys
no, he'd done it at the seminar at Ours though.
Aye, man. That's a painful move.
Aye. I demonstrated it on Cammy, and Cammy was a sore lat for about 4 days after it. I'm just looking so much trouble the whole way through this.
Chasing the neck a bit.
It was that jump there that I was like, he's starting to tire out because that was a big loose jump. I suppose he didn't really need to waste that much energy there.
That's true. I guess he's trying to avoid the counter wrestling. Or maybe just for style points, it did look cool.
Yeah, it did look cool. So does he get points here because he's on the side, he's not technically on the back? Maris was saying he has to be directly on the back. If you're on the side, you wouldn't get them.
Aye, I don't know if the scoring's actually started yet, but it's... it needs to be locked up. It's when they unlock it, you kind of start to lose your... Or unlock it for 3 seconds, then you get the chance to score. He's going to score for the Mountaineer anyway if it was in points. But I can see with the style that he's pushing, it must not be points yet because he's not too fussed to strike.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, I think James was actually shouting out to him to hold positions for points, but he kept moving quickly.
Nice defence.
I should have watched your necktie tutorial.
But that's a nice defence to the Anaconda there.
Just keep the shoulder down so you can.
It forces you to attack the arm really.
Yep.
Or you can go around the front and just go full neck.
Should have done a wee... I was going to go Choi bar there, but I just didn't get a good enough grip. And then a wee bit of reverse close guard, but again, just didn't.
Honestly, see, sometimes I'm turning into a dinosaur with a wood grapple, and I try and keep up to date, but people are getting so good, so fast now. It's crazy.
Turning into a dinosaur with my age, I can't keep up with that pace, man. Kept thinking at these points, I was like, realistically, Shawnee puts me in positions like this all the time, so he's got more chance of finishing me. Not that I'm saying Ross isn't dangerous enough to finish me,
No, but it definitely helps when you've been in the gym with guys who have got a really attacking style. You're getting to have to deal with a lot of different threats. Nice double. Yeah, you can see you've still got a load of energy. Like, you look mega fresh considering the exchanges.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was tired. Didn't realise how mentally fatiguing the filming is.
Aye.
Because you're focusing on every match. So by the time I got to go in, I didn't even get a warm up for this. I literally went in and I started stretching and I was called up.
So that's maybe what it's been as well. You know what I mean? Because I do that a lot. I don't warm up, and usually my first few minutes of the match I try and just keep a low pace, and once I'm warmed up then I can start letting loose a bit.
It was really high on the back here, but I could actually feel, see, after the slam that it drained him, I think it knocked the wind right out of him. And again, it's just being patient. Fighting the hands in the grip. Comeback of the night.
That was a serious match. Brilliant.
Comeback of the night. I was in so many bad spots. I honestly thought I was going to I thought he was going to take it at any point, realistically.
I've actually got you doing a submission of the night for that, so the cash bonus coming your way.
Cash bonus coming my way, yes, man. Fantastic. Cheers, man. But nah, he was good. He was good.
I
really
was
good
really
opponent.
happy with it. I was speaking to him about it. He was loving the event, the level. He said definitely the level's been the highest so far.
It definitely was. Get a bit of imposter syndrome. You don't feel that you're a good enough level to be on that. Do you know what I mean? To be on that show and like the people you're going up against, and as much as I don't ever feel that they're unbeatable for it,
that's just a thing that happens. It's just a thing that's. I feel like a lot of athletes in Scotland were bad for it for a while, especially when travelling for competing. But I was lucky enough, I got to train with a lot of people all over the world quite early on in my career, so and I never really felt like that. I was always up for giving anybody a try.
Yeah.
And the level was really, really high in Scotland, so there's no reason we shouldn't be trying to go against the best guys for everywhere, and it showed. It showed on the show there on Saturday.
Look at who we had. Like, we had people from England, we had people from Poland. You're getting people from everywhere coming over to fight the Scottish people now.
Mm-hmm. And if you look, I mean, we just look at the results, and there was a lot of great performances for the. You seen Ben Bennett's performance as well, and him and Kev Macklin's been talking about.
It looks
like that match is going to happen. Polaris, that's cool.
That'd be fantastic if it was, and if it doesn't get onto Polaris, then you know what one you're jumping at.
So for me, this is what it's all about. Do you know what I mean? It's like starting to see these things starting to happen, starting to see some of the Scottish grapplers getting the bigger matches on the shows down south and stuff like that as well, because the level's awesome up here, and we just try to get a platform to showcase it and get it out there. And big respect to all the people that travel to come and compete on ADCC Scotland as well, because without these guys coming in and making the effort to get here, we wouldn't be having these awesome matches. So it just boosts the scene in general.
It definitely does. I've got boys that I've sponsored through GrappleHub that are wanting on it as well, so we can talk about some of them at some point as well. But I've got a few purple belts. I'm pretty sure Miguel would be loving to come for a match as well.
I've been speaking to him back and forth for a bit. It's just the dates have never worked out, but we'd love to get him back on it.
So it's quite an effort to get
up. When you look at it, and he's made the trip down there and obviously made that sacrifice to go train with a team that he knew was going to improve him, and it's paid dividends for him when you check it out. He's had some amazing results in competition since being down there training with Drake. Yeah,
he actually came from Fort William, so he was originally from Spain, but then moved to Fort William. Came from Fort William, trained at Fort BJJ, moved down to train with us at 10th Planet, and then we're all there. And then I think obviously reached his peak at our club, and then had to make the move down to drag. And I was actually going to move down with him as well, but I ended up, we first spoke about moving down to drag. It was at 2019, It wasn't actually called Drag at the time. They hadn't merged the gyms
Chris
together
Reeves
yet. Still CRA, and Ash had said to us about moving down, and me, Jack and Miguel were considering it. And I think I was more up for it at that time. And then lockdown came about, me and Carla got together, and then it changed the situation, and they two went. And it's been phenomenal for them. Like, the improvement they've made is outstanding for moving down there.
I mean, they're around world-class guys all the time, and they've got a really good training program down there, an amazing facility as well. Yeah. So, you can see why they've done that to try and take it to the next level.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I was down there for work, and I jumped in for a bit of training, and ended up, getting on really well with the guys, and we've had Ash up at the gym as well teaching. So,
he's a good coach as well, isn't he? As much as a good competitor, he's a good coach.
Definitely. He dropped some gems just even with mindset stuff and that as well, and most guys like that are at the top of the game. They've got a lot of things in common, and he's obviously one of them.
One of the things that a lot of the people that I speak to when I'm talking about the podcast and like what do people want to hear, a lot of people want to hear about mindset. I think the mindset of a competitor, especially for like white belts who are just starting out and are thinking about competing, and they're watching shows like this and they're going, what is your mindset walking into that? Like Cammy's competed quite a lot in terms of local comps, but that was his first invitational. And we can show his video as well.
Sick pal.
But he was saying that like his mindset was completely different. Everything was different about it. Like the adrenaline obviously gave him that focal point, and he was like, I couldn't see anything apart from here, and then he couldn't see anything. Well,
I had that one time, final of the Edinburgh Open, got choked unconscious, didn't pay attention to a baseball bat choke with a gi, passed the guy's guard, was up on points, didn't clear the grip, went to mount, returned, finished it off. So what's it called, suicide choke or something? Wasn't good anyway. Next thing you know, I woke up.
Did you even notice that you were going out?
Yeah, I could feel it, but I was just being stubborn. I was like, nah, this guy's not putting me to sleep. It didn't feel that bad, but that's the problem sometimes. It doesn't feel that bad, then it's over.
And you can see how bad this feels on Cammy, but Cammy said in his head, he must have been dreaming, in his head he was still doing a double leg. He was nowhere near a double leg, but... So we spoke to him about this as well. His movement's very fast. Just too excited with an overstimulated puppy. You can see his movement's really erratic, whereas it's way calmer than that in the gym.
I feel like that's something I need to teach more, is like this high guard, because I use the high guard quite well, and a lot of people, Big Luke, he got to the position, we're going to cover it, but there's so many spots for there that you can finish guys from. And that mistake gets made.
Done well floating them, defending the leg. They should have slowed down here, grabbed inside his thigh to stop this Kimura for rotating him. Let it rotate him up to the back.
You've got the counter there, you've got the old GSP Matt Hughes counter.
Yeah.
But you've got to be fast or the guy counters back. Can he hang out there?
Yeah. Oh, that's a very close attempt there, so he should have probably stayed low for the...
Up on the left foot there, he's doing it. Starting to clear it a bit. Like the anaconda transition.
Straight to it. Boom. Now that is exactly the same thing.
High elbow, it's done. It's done.
He said he didn't try to tap, but I don't know what that was.
It's that high elbow guillotine, so dangerous once it's locked up. Yeah.
That was the exact same as what Dylan Nooney done me with. And it was like the same position that, well, he was slightly more in my back, and it was the same thing. Like, as soon as I was getting choked, my vision just started going like this. It started coming into almost nothing. That's how I had to tap. I was like, and it felt like I was going to have time to fight it, and then all of a sudden it was just like...
The weird thing about those is they get worse as you pass, so...
It's tighter.
Yeah, it gets tighter as you pass. I remember seeing Barry Monroe put a guy to sleep on SGI with actually years ago. He was a brown belt that he was up against when he was a blue belt, and I thought, cool finish.
Barry Monroe, aka Zinedine Zidane. Did you see the
headbutt?
Aye.
Aye, it's the wrong guy. Wrong guy to headbutt.
Oh man, he get disqualified for putting somebody through a table and then a headbutt.
Hardcore pass.
I know. It's hilarious, man. He's you actually see Christian chinning him at the end there.
Aye.
Off the mat, Barry's such a gentleman, and then on the mat he's an absolute animal.
Aye, he was right up for it, that's for sure.
Yeah. And this is where I struggle to switch. Like, I always feel like I'm too nice to people, and even when I'm competing, I'm too nice. I always feel like I could definitely be a bit more aggressive. Whereas he's got the switch quite right. He's dead gentlemanly, the sportsmanship after it, everything. But then when
he plays a lot of rugby, so that'll probably help. You know, he's got the rugby mentality for it, just kind of horsing right through. So it might be that. And
got a San Andreas walkout tune with it.
Yep, they're cool kids, eh?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I got some photos and videos for the guys for reality for them.
Serious skills at that age, man, to be
wild,
travelling the world competing.
Wait, just Joel?
Joel, he's only like early 20s.
Is he?
Aye.
He's 17, isn't he, Christian?
Yep.
Wild, man. Trained all our days, probably, the way.
Aye, around good people as well, so it makes a big difference.
You learn way faster as a kid as well.
They were in our gym for a bit doing some warm-ups and stuff, and it was cool seeing them train together. They're very switched on with what they're doing.
Have you sparred with them much?
I think I only got actually to train with Joel when we was out in Malaga.
Right.
Torremolinos, I think it's where the gym actually is. Aye.
It'd be good to go out, see for a holiday.
I had good fun out there. Honestly, I'd definitely promote the leg lock camp that happens out there with Camille and Matthias Szynski.
Aye.
So,
is that the same gym that the guy Seb from Yoga from BJJ's moved to?
It could be. It's Santeri Elias's gym. So, great facility as well. And I learned loads. It was a great sort of hard competitive training, but also, you know.
Can you rewind that just for the purpose, so people can see why we're calling him Zinedine Zidane. So if you go back to a bit forward again, sorry.
Where are we?
A bit forward again. Once he pulls guard, keep going forward. A little bit more. Just a bit about here. He pulls guard and then.
I found this one to be interesting because obviously Christian's young and he's obviously like an absolute phenom, but Barry's obviously a purple belt. You know, he's
so experienced.
Yeah, he's an adult guy. He's been.
Here we go.
Oh. Yeah, I do think it was accidental, to be honest. I think he's just been a bit clumsy. Aye.
I think he was probably going to go for a bit of similar to a blast double.
Yeah.
And flatten him out, but he just slipped right up
a bit. Aye, heightened emotions.
I know.
I've had that before a few times in matches where I've thought, are you trying to start a fight here or something? Do you know what I mean? Like,
aye.
And I've seen a couple of things like that in the event at the weekend, but like see when people attempt sweeps but they do it poorly.
Aye.
They're just basically leg kicking you.
Yeah.
Like
especially I've noticed since the foot sweeps, the judo sweeps have become a lot more popular. People they just basically Muay Thai kick you right in the side.
They probably want to learn how to do it properly.
Actually foot sweep and just volley you. Can you actually put that match back up, Curtis, so we can we'll go back up because it gets a really good heel lock, and it's good to see the angle of his body, the way it changes the angle to actually finish it, because a position when I play a lot of Z-guard, and I've got quite a good overhook game, but I never finish this. And it'd be interesting to see. It's probably just the angle of his body, how much he turned his body to the side.
Camille Wilk actually gave me some good details on this exact technique.
Did he?
Yeah, he caught me with it, and I was like, "Oh, I need to learn this." It's pretty. I always struggle to get the finish as well. I found it quite easy to set up, but to get the mechanics right on the actual break.
Barry was saying his elbow kind of felt like it popped and stuff like that as well.
It was precise, man.
Precise.
Because it's a funny technique. It's one of those techniques if somebody's not quite applying it. Oh. What was it, leg position? That was close guard, wasn't it?
I think so.
Must have just been
skip back just like maybe 10 seconds for a wee replay. I take it, do you have the... It seems to be like hipping right through. Have you got... can you play that in like half speed or anything? Have you got that option on that media player? Just there's fine. Yeah. No, we need to skip it forward a little bit. Because it's going to be off speed now, isn't it? There. Yeah. How he sets this up. So he's got a leg on the outside. So it's full guard.
The guard's open, isn't it?
It's open though. And it's not even like he was pushing off. I was expecting maybe to be pushing off his toes there.
It looked like he was disconnected with the legs here. Interesting.
Yeah, like jiu-jitsu. Nice one.
And it was good we had them on board as a sponsor as well. For this event. It was their first one, but great guys. I got a good chance to chat with them and that, and they're just all about supporting young athletes.
They're going to be doing me a custom rash guard. So that'll be a nice wee collab. I sent them over a sort of sketch of what we were looking for. So that'll be interesting. That was the other thing I was going to say actually. So for whoever got fastest submission of the night, match of the night, whatever the awards were, they were going to get. I was going to also send them bars of soap as well.
Nice,
right? So just an additional thing is one, a thank you to you, and two, just to help promote it a little bit further.
That's cool.
So I'll be sending myself 3 bars of soap.
Nice. We've got Arujo and Elias Quaza as the match of the night.
Match of the night.
Yeah. So those are going to be the guys. I thought that was crazy.
Good back and forth
as well. He was saying the same. You know, he thought the technical level was just really sky high, and it was back and forth. The exchanges were awesome. I think he might have a sore ankle for one of the first exchanges, but he showed his toughness early on. It was like really, really good, you know.
I need to ask him how some of the
exchanges were wild.
I think
he's won a fight of the night or match of the night or sub of the night every single time.
Has he? He is good though. He is good. He's awesome. A nightmare in the gym. See when you spar with him in the gym, he's really good at arm locks.
I've never trained with him.
Have you not?
No, I've never
really good at arm locks. He actually plays mostly guard. So see when you see him standing a lot, it's strange, and like wrestling, it's not.
His wrestling's good as well, though. He's got everything.
He more wrestles up in his guard game. His arm locks. It's always arm locks. His arm locks and triangle games, really good.
He's got some pretty unique stuff, you know.
Yeah.
His own kind of style as well. It's cool to watch.
I don't know. We do have that video, but I don't know where it is on it. Is the only thing. I don't think I actually wrote it down on it. Is the only thing on that list. But
Elias was really good as well. You know, he was right up for getting on the event. So. We'd definitely have to have him back on it. You know, he was he done a bit of training in the gym and stuff. He's a really good guy.
Who have you got? Who's your sight set on for the next one? Who are you going to bring people back on?
Yeah, like we really want to do the Kieran Davern Stevie Ray main event again, because obviously we dropped it, and you know it's just lucky that the card was that stacked for it that you know it was still awesome. I would say it was our best one to date. You know,
100%,
just full, you know, the full way through. And it's awesome to have Paul McVeigh back as well. That was so cool.
Paul McVeigh was really good. And do you know what? It's a shame because I was recording at the time, and I was recording in 4K to start with, and it overheated the camera. And right as he came on, and the camera shut down, so I didn't get his match at all.
It was cool.
But it was good. It was a heel hook.
So composed as well. And he hadn't been, you know, competing for a while, and a lot of people didn't realise how much a legend he is. I've had so many people messaging since he's been on, and
he's a pioneer of Scotland, isn't he?
Exactly, but he's low key, you know. He's not want to be on socials or anything like that, and I totally get that.
It would have been good to get that up because was it an inside heel hook? Is that right?
Aye,
you got him back with on it. Was it off a counter?
He had to be patient and sort of close guard to start off with. You know, he was in the close guard and he was just staying patient and looking for his opportunities. And once he got his opportunity to get moving, he snatched the victory pretty quick after that.
Who was your favourite match? What was your best?
I mean, selfishly, like it would be Gaz. Aye,
fantastic.
Just because
we've got it.
Aye, that's awesome. Aye, just because.
It's in that. Well, we can do the walkout and the video because the walkout is the best walkout I've ever seen. To be honest, he gets the crowd so hyped.
Gaz is from Stirling, you know what I mean? So it's a wee hometown.
I had the walkout the night, like, and his match was really good. I'd really enjoyed his match. It was a good back and forth. It's funny when you watch him because sometimes he's stepping in as if he just can't be arsed, but then he just counters straight away. It's great.
The full crowd's clapping.
The full crowd was going for it. We obviously can't hear it here, but a showman as well.
Yeah, it's cool to see Gaz coming full circle because when I first met Gaz, he was a boxer.
Oh, was he?
Aye, Gaz is a boxer, and he's still on my phone as the same Gary MMA. But like jiu-jitsu was always in MMA. It wasn't the thing that he gravitated towards. To see him competing against, you know, like the guy that just won the ADCC UK under 60 kilo championship. It was pretty cool to see him showing that level off, you know.
What's Jake's nickname again, baby?
What did
you hear my new nickname that
Aye. Pretty boy.
People are just going to think I'm a self-centered dick, man, but I'm honestly no.
It's always fucking tough when you put your mate in a tough match, do you know what I mean? Because you're thinking to yourself, I hope the fuck he wins.
Were you nervous for him at this point?
Aye, because I know how good Jake is, do you know what I mean? So I know it's going to be a really tough match. But Gaz trains hard and, you know, he wants the tough matches as well, so that makes it. Like there, he's had to defend a real close bite there.
Jake gets a few good options with butterfly. He's turned back into butterfly half there. He's got a good butterfly half game.
Just not being able to get all the way through on the leg.
Back stepping right into the saddle. Gaz has obviously got control of his head, but yeah. So that like the step and then as if he whatever and then
going for the old rolling toe hold.
And all the time I've known him, I've actually never rolled him.
Nah. You need to get through on a Sunday, man.
I know.
He's at church most Sundays.
I'll definitely need to come through. Has he always been into leg locks or has he just been...
Me and him basically spent the majority of lockdown drilling leg locks in the garage. We were just studying stuff. A lot of the old Lackland gel stuff as well.
Yeah.
This new submeta is pretty awesome.
That is good, isn't it? We've been learning a lot off of that recently.
It's just a really good system.
He explains things very easily, and I think because he's understanding of body mechanics as well, obviously being a physio is... I mean, Jake's had some really good entries onto the legs. A side knee bar there. How did that look from your angle? Because obviously the angle I'm at is slightly different, so you don't really get to see the braking pressure going through it. It was quite quick.
Aye, definitely.
I thought he tapped early, but then you see him holding his knee.
It came out of nowhere, actually.
Just managed to hit right through the side.
But he hits that in the gym a lot as well.
Side knee bar?
Yeah.
Is he coming through the lateral side? Is he just coming through the outside? And
I think he beats the heel hook first, and then when they try and escape, shoots into the knee bar.
Nice. That was brilliant. We had the crowd going as well, which is because we had Bungard saying, "Monty fuck, is that a Morgan here?" Because when he was on, everybody was like, "Oh." Because you never know how the matches with MMA fighters are going to go either. Because like you don't know if they're going to be wild or if they're just going to be patient. And it seemed to be like more of a patient match there. Like, I think you're kind of, as an MMA fighter,
I think because they were both MMA fighters,
you're conscious
it was patient. You know what I mean? More sort of conscious of position than anything else. You know, it's like you don't want to concede position, because when somebody with that kind of background, they can just shut up shop quite easily.
Yeah.
So like one mistake could cost you the whole match. You know, and that's just real for all grappling. But you know, you give up a bad position and it can be just game over for there.
I know, because that's actually, I had Miguel messaging me and he was like, probably if you gave a lot of those positions you gave to him during your match, you would have get finished. If you gave that to other people in live, potentially.
Oh, nice.
Potentially would get battered. But, we've got
and that's good, and that's what you want for a tough match. You know, you're getting the benefit of winning, you're getting the benefit of seeing what you can do in your offensive positions, but also, you know, realising, right, okay, where's the early stage prevention here? What do I need to work on to stop this from happening in future? You know, whatever it may be. But it's going to happen with really good guys, you know what I mean? It's going to happen with people that are at a high level. They're going to make these mistakes, and people are going to capitalise it because it's tiny little gaps, you know.
That's it. One mistake and it can be over in a second.
That person notices it and then it progresses from there.
Pattern recognition, I've got a lot, like when I'm sparring in the gym, a lot of the time I do a lot of pattern recognition. So especially if I'm wrestling, I'm always pawing at someone. So whether I'm pawing high, low, and I'll do a certain quality to see the way that they strip it off, and then what do they expose from there. And then I'll start trying to figure out how to capitalise. And then I've actually, my game's slowed down a lot playing that way, because especially my passing, so like I'll come in, I'll work that heavy pressure on the frames and start collapsing frames, and I'll just expose a weakness and I'll just capitalise on that one. And it's really slowed my game down. I think that's what we could probably do with a bit for Cammy, because he's still getting in with that erratic, whereas he should be slowing down and try to work out. It's like that saying you're playing chess.
I try and say that with my students all the time. It's like everything that you do should have a purpose. Every grip that you take, every position you take, every stance you take, it should all have a purpose, and that purpose is going to usually have a consequence off the back of it, and you know, whatever your action is, you'll be able to feel their actions. I
always say to people as well, like a lot of people go, they'll come to me and ask leg lock advice, and they're like, I don't understand leg locks, and then they don't understand how to keep getting caught with leg locks. And I'm like, well, you actually need to dive in. Like, see, if you sit down and learn how to do a leg lock, you then know what you need to defend. So I feel like a lot of people just consider about like I just want to sort of learn how to defend them, but I don't think that's always
I think the best way to defend them is by starting in late stage and working your way back. So you're going to learn how to defend it at the deepest stage, and then you're going to start to learn all the ways in between, you know, so depending on the stage of defence.
Ecological learning style, isn't it? So like Greg Saunders, have you watched any of his stuff? No, it's something you should do. I don't know if I spoke about this last time, but there's a book, The Art of Learning, by Josh Waitzkin.
All right,
you heard of him?
No.
He was a chess master. He was in a movie called Searching for Bobby Fischer. It was years ago, and he is the guy that opened the gym with Marcelo Garcia. So he moved from chess into Tai Chi push hands, and then from Tai Chi push hands into Jiu-Jitsu. And that's who Marcelo opened his gym with. But it's all about that ecological style learning, and a lot of the time they start and end stage. So I actually watched a video the other day. It was...
Is that a book you said?
That's a book called The Art of Learning.
Nice.
I done it on Audible.
I use Audible.
Yeah, it's a good one to have. That's a good one to have. Very interesting. And Greg Saunders, the guy who taught him, has a book out as well. I want to ask Chris in a minute, but he's got a book out as well that they talk about the same style of learning, and it's all that starting and end stage.
It's interesting, that stuff, you know, different approaches to learning. I don't know if any one approach is the right way. You know, it seems like you can maybe get through to some people with one approach one day and then a different approach other days. You know, that was my old job, was kind of trying to figure that out as well, and there's so many different parts to it as well, like especially when it's in a team environment, so team dynamics, a lot of people go down that route as well.
Do you do pod training?
We've done that for a while. We done that. I mean, where I first learned about that was just when we used to train at the old higher level. So you know, we had quite a small gym back then, and you know, it was all great guys that were training in it, or professional MMA fighters. So you were in a pod with 3 or 4 other professional MMA fighters, and you were, working MMA rounds live, and you would have, a fresh guy coming out each time, and then last person stays in. We adopted that approach when we were in the garage during lockdown, and huge results with that.
I think, definitely you do, because you're just spending time in the position over and over and over again. And I would say that for like anyone that's starting out, or any white and blue belts, that you need to spend time in the position. A lot of people always asking how do I get better at this and how do I get better at that, and you just need to spend time there. You could learn every technique under the sun and you could drill it just like flowing through it. But then if you don't spend time in that live, you're just going to keep getting crushed.
Yeah, it's theory and practical. You're drilling whatever way you want to develop the technique. That's your theory, and then actually applying it, you need to put yourself in these positions. That's why I'm always saying to people when they're rolling, like, you need to actually find these positions of the stuff you want to work, and if not, your coach can make that happen as well by doing that style of training.
Yep, we'll start there. Yep. Like that's something I say to people as well. Like, see, if you're working a certain position, say you're working your close guard, you're trying to get good at triangles for close guard. If you're working your close guard, you should find a way to get back to close guard from everywhere, and then just start working your game. Yeah, and or just ask your partner. It's quite simple. Just say to your partner, listen, can I start in close guard here? Because what are they going to lose? Like, especially in the gym,
they get to work their close guard past, and it's ideal.
Exactly, breaking close guard, they get really good at that. So there was what else have we got written down up there that we can look at? Can you pull up Sean Mellon and Ronan Foley? I didn't get a chance to speak to Ronan. I was going to try and catch him for a chat. Just I don't know if he saw the podcast or whatever. I don't know what the situation was, but I didn't want him thinking I was being a dick calling him out and not speaking to him. So I was trying and catch him for a chat, but I didn't get.
You called him out?
Well, in the last podcast, I said I'd like a match for him because he's good. You can see him in this, and usually he's quite happy just to go straight into guard, but he stands, which I was.
Everybody's developing their skills all the time.
Yeah.
There's Tommy for 7 subs in the background. Yep. Shout out to him. He says he's going to be sending somebody to the ADCC trials next year. We're going to pick the person, the athlete for the event, and he's going to be sending somebody.
Nice. That's what I like to see. Are you going to go back to trials?
Maybe for reffing this time, but my plan is like not to compete at all this year.
Aye.
I want to just lift weights, eat loads of food, and become a better coach.
Recover for the 20 years of abuse.
But it's hard because people always give you offers for matches, and it's hard when you've competed for all these years and you enjoy it. But
especially if it's a good match.
If it's a match that interests you, then it's like it is hard to say no. But just for me, it's hard being away for like family and that. I've got 2 kids, so I want to be around them as much as I can, and with all the other stuff I've got going on, I don't get as much time as I should. So
nah, of course. So this was a good match. Do you remember watching this one?
Aye.
Good match.
Some defence here.
Yeah. I was wondering if you could have switched to high elbow, but it was obviously defending the arm at the other side.
Potentially. When they landed, he could have maybe looked to sit through on it a wee bit.
Sean Mellon's another young guy. He's only 18 or 19 as well.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
He had a match against Sean Conway from ours, and it was really, really good.
Good back and forth.
Yep, solid. Both guys were brilliant.
Well, according to Cam, he's young. Cammy talks to him, he knows him quite well, so it's Cammy that was saying, but so I was thinking, like, see, even the prelims were so good. Usually you go to the matches, you see the prelims, everyone's just like, it's prelims, we'll wait for the main card to start. But
there's a legendary John Lamb in the background there now.
It's a nice trip. Nice escape as well, straight.
Right in a pass.
Yeah. Get that throw off nice there.
The level's pretty class considering this match was on the prelims. It's mad. I knew it was going to be one of the real technical ones.
Yeah.
But
and this is what I was saying. You actually tell people are higher level because of their composure.
Yeah.
So like, even when they're in a bad spot, like what he's just sitting waiting. He's not freaking out. He's giving a bit to get a bit. It's a great pass. And also, I think Sean Mellon's just a blue belt as well.
Yep. Again, with the matchmaking, I try not to go into that too much now.
Belt level?
Yeah, just depending on... Because obviously, like, Arujo's match was like that. He's a purple belt and he was up against a brown belt.
Yep.
You know. Oscar, we put him against the brown belt and he only just got his purple belt. You know, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out with it, but it's... the guys have always shown their level, and a lot of people can compete above their belt level.
Yep.
See with the guys winning trials now and stuff as well.
Oh, aye. The belt the more people do it, and the more younger people come in as well. Like the belts don't matter as much anymore. Now I'll still be buzzing when I get my brown belt, but it's...
Aye, of course.
Again, the composure. And he tapped there. I slowed it down earlier to have a wee look. It looks like it was a bit more twisty on his arm, kind of Kimura style, probably a lot more pressure on the shoulder as opposed to the straight arm lock.
Yep.
But again, the composure of Ronan just sitting there getting stacked on his neck and just waiting for the right opportunity to explode.
That was a nice finish.
It was a good match. I don't know what else I've got up there. I think I've got Erin Wilson's up there as well.
That was rapid, wasn't it?
Erin's was rapid, aye.
She was enjoying the halftime show as well.
Aye.
It's like, that's my kind of tunes.
Aye. He was great.
Aye, McGrandos is awesome.
Aye. Fantastic, man. Great guitar player, actually. Really, really good guitar player. I didn't know if he was just coming to sing. I didn't know he'd done like all the guitar as well.
Just plays acoustic sets, but you know, he plays Celtic Park in that regularly. He's pretty awesome. Goes all over the world with it. And for me, it was just like, you've got people coming from all over Europe. It's good to let them hear a bit of Scottish music.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Fastest submission, right?
It was wrapped up tight.
I think by the looks of it, she had the high elbow and her arm was reaching through and pulling it up as well. She'll be able to correct me if I'm wrong.
I like that attack as well. No full neck. Anytime you can get the neck like that, they're in big trouble.
Something I don't do as much as I should, actually. But I think that was the fastest sub of the night.
I think that really goes good with like any sort of dash and necktie stuff, because if you can't get under the arm, then usually the neck's a wee bit more exposed.
Yep.
So you've got either or, head and arm, or just pure neck.
Something I need to work more again. The whole of my game has always been guillotines. Not always, but recently it's been guillotines. So I've been putting a lot of work
about that.
Yeah.
Because Dan Strauss, I went to his seminar and it was awesome. It helped me understand it completely differently, to be honest.
I think what I've started to realise the more I've been playing it, the more I've been playing just chokes in general, is I wasn't using my ribs enough. I feel like you need to actually get your ribs involved properly to get the choke on. It's not something that I was necessarily doing. Since we've only got a few minutes left, so what's next for ADCC? What's the next plan?
Next move will be the Scottish Open, so we'll have a Scottish Open planned. We're just looking at a couple of dates for that now, so we should have that announced pretty soon. And then we'll look at another invitational later on in the year.
What's the format for the Scottish Open? Is it so your weight class is going to be 66, 77, 88, or is it?
Aye, we're going to do what Ireland do as well, and we're going to put in the belt for the absolute.
Nice.
So I think that'll be pretty cool, because I think it's a really good format, that, and the ADCC belts are pretty cool. You seen Kev lifting his. That was
a belter, by the way.
An awesome match as well, and
Yeah,
it was pretty solid. So
aye, that was a good match. That was a good match. I expect it was they were quite conserved, I suppose. Not want to give too much away in case they get caught out, because
both guys just respecting each other's game, looking for their opportunities, and one small mistake costs you.
Aye. Especially if Kev was a wee bit, say, looser with his passing, it's a good chance George is getting on his leg.
Oh, definitely. Like you seen, he was just looking for those opportunities, and that's going to be a big part of his game from coming from London Grapple as well. Are going to be well versed in it.
Ross Nichols, we got a private with him down at Ashes when we were down there, and that was actually something I was going to say in the match with Jake. When you get that butterfly half, you get into the saddle, and if someone's smashing you down, you actually, instead of trying to turn into the leg, you turn the opposite way, and it allows you to swim through the backside 50. It's a great. I'll show you the video more.
Nice.
I think it's actually a really good way to when you're getting saddle smashed.
Yeah.
To counter it.
Nice.
So we've got the Scottish Open. When you think what we're looking at? Sort of summertime.
We're probably going to be looking at about end of April, May. So nice. I was looking at some of the other comps that are around those dates. So we'll just slot it somewhere between.
Where will that be?
We're going to look at Stirling Uni again. It worked well the last time. I think we could have done a few things better. So yeah, just come back. We'll go with that venue.
Yep. I'll come do a lot of filming again.
That'd be awesome. We'll get some highlights. So I'm looking forward to it, and then being a nice time of year and that too, it should be ideal. Because Stirling Uni is beautiful that time of year.
Yeah, they get some. I'm out of my head what I was going to say there. What's your next invitational?
We'll be looking at maybe sort of July, August time after that.
August time as well.
Aye, so I'll pencil in some dates for it, but I need to look at that because we might look at a change of venue.
Right.
I've got some other ideas in my head. I was maybe going to speak to the ADCC UK guys and see if they were up for maybe doing some kind of cross promotion one. It'd be cool to have a big one in England, because I know they've never done an ADCC invitational yet in England.
That would be good.
Be interesting to see what they could pull.
Do you think they'd do like a full UK invitation, or do you think it would be like a...
I think a UK one would be cool, because you've got Ash, running the events in Wales, you've got Kieran Davern in Ireland, and you've got the guys at UK, Darren and his team, and then you've got myself, obviously, and we're starting to build here as well.
Brilliant. That'd be good. Interesting to see as well. Hopefully got on that one and all. Well, listen, thank you for coming back in. It's been an absolute pleasure as always, and
thanks for having me, man. Again, thanks for everything you were doing with the show. It was awesome. Some great highlights coming out, and awesome content.
Some of them have started to go quite, considering there's only 300 followers on the page, they're getting over 11,000 views and stuff like that. So
give the GrappleHub a follow, and start to blow up.
_hub. Grapple_hub, and we've got ADCC_Scotland. And Submission Factory Alloa.
And the event should be up on YouTube next couple of days. So get yourself onto YouTube. You'll see the full event on there. Give us a subscribe. Help us grow.
Yeah, perfect. Pleasure. Thank you for coming back on. See you soon.
Thanks very much.
I do that every time.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I know, we always do it, man.